This video is basically for people in the UK and it's good news. So what is this all about? Stay tuned, let's find out. My name is Tochi and welcome to my channel. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up as you're watching so YouTube can recommend it to more people that needs to see it. And please share it to everyone that needs this information, okay? To all my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. You're welcome back to today's video. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly hit the subscribe button right now. I don't know why you haven't yet. So guys, we all know that a lot has been going on around care worker visa from when it was launched and announced by the UK government, when people started getting jobs. Some people were very unlucky. They got caught up in the whole COS scam. They were not able to get jobs. Despite the promise of jobs by some employers, they couldn't get jobs. Some even managed to get jobs, came into the UK, got certificate of sponsorship, only to realize that these jobs does not exist or that the companies didn't even have jobs, they didn't have clients. You know, there was just a lot going on, right? The government saw this, that there was a lot of abuse going on and extortion and all, and became stricter, you know, when it comes to issuing COS. So a lot of companies lost their sponsorship license as a result of this. And guess who was left to bear the brunt of all of this? Care workers, migrant care workers who had left everything back home to move to the UK to work. And some were even students already, those that came on study visas, international students. Some got into post-study work visa and finally switched to a work visa, only to realize that they got sponsorships with companies that didn't have jobs, you know, or companies that had issues with their licenses and all of that. So it was a lot for so many people. Some people got the 60 days notice to leave the UK. Some were fortunate enough to get another employer, and some others were not that lucky because they had to leave the UK. So it was that bad. There are also people who have just few months left on their visa. They don't know what tomorrow holds for them. They don't even know what to do because employment or because jobs with sponsorships are not forthcoming. So the Scottish government now have seen everything, how important care workers are and the value that they bring to the society. So guess what they did? Let me show you. Now, before I continue, I want to quickly talk about LemFi. LemFi is a reliable app that allows you to send money to your loved ones back home, and they have one of the best rates you can find in the market, so you'll always get your complete value for money. And also, considering the fact that LemFi is always bringing us goodies and lots of good news, I've got one to share with you today. So if you send £1,000 or more in a single transfer to Nigeria for the next 3 months, you stand a chance of winning amazing prizes. You can win a share of £6,000 in flight vouchers, or one of 5 200,000 naira cash prizes. LemFi keeps giving and giving. Okay, I'm going to leave the details on the screen. Remember, the more money you send, the more your chances of winning. I wish you guys all the best. Winners will be selected randomly, and keep sending money with LemFi. If you haven't downloaded LemFi yet, what have you been using to send money to your loved ones? Why have you been stressing yourself? Download LemFi today. Use my code TOCHI when you sign up and you will get a great discount. Now, back to the video. The adult social care workforce will be boosted to deliver up to 45,000 extra hours of care every month through ongoing investment. So the adult social care displaced worker scheme has reopened to new applications to help expand the number of care workers, increasing the sector's resilience and capacity to deliver additional care each month. So if you know anybody who is currently stranded, who's currently displaced, looking for COS, you know, that are in the UK already. So this is why I said this video is for those in the UK. So if you know anybody who is currently looking for sponsorship, whose, you know, employer sponsor license was withdrawn, who is stranded currently, who has few months left on their visas, who are basically looking for sponsorship jobs, please share this video with them and tell them that Scotland needs them. I personally watched where this was announced by the Scottish government. You know, they talked about it themselves. I watched it on their pages, like on the news, and this is beautiful, right? So I decided to come and share because I know that this will benefit a lot of people, as we know that so many people have been affected so far. Okay, so the initiative, which helps social care employers to recruit international workers who are already in the UK but are without sponsored employment through no fault of their own, has already helped 37 employers recruit 120 workers. So First Minister John Sweeney said meaningful reform requires a workforce to deliver it, as he pressed the UK government to ensure that international recruitment into the sector can resume. So ahead of a visit to the Bottis care home in Dundee, where he will meet workers recruited through the scheme, Mr. Sweeney added. Now, I watched them interview some of these care workers as well, and you could see that a lot of them were actually happy, talking to the government and excited that finally care workers are being recognized. And another good thing about all of these things happening is that even the new Prime Minister actually acknowledges the work that care workers do. If you had listened to his speech earlier last month, you would have noticed where he talks about all the changes he's bringing to the healthcare sector, and just in appreciation and acknowledgement of the work that care workers do, or healthcare workers do, basically. He also talks about his father. In fact, he's always talking about his father. I watched one of the interviews where he said his father doesn't even know that he's prime minister due to his health condition, and that he's being taken care of by healthcare workers. So he understands the work, the impact, the value that care workers are making, are giving, so he appreciates it, and that he's going to do everything within his power to support healthcare workers and make sure that they get the best support that they deserve. It just feels so good to know that you're actually appreciated for the work that you do, because care workers work so hard. Like, if you are a care worker, please leave a comment in the comment section. Just, care workers give so much, and it's so heartbreaking to see that a lot of people are actually going through this, so coming into the UK to work, leaving everything behind. Some had to sell properties, resign from their jobs, obviously, move their families here. Now the children are starting to get used to the system, starting to integrate with school, make friends, make this place home and everything, only for you to just be left at a point where you don't even know if you're going to be going back or not, because of the fact that there is no sponsorship. And that for every skilled worker in the UK, your job or your certificate of sponsorship is what is keeping you in the UK. So without it, your stay is actually not guaranteed, So he talks about how familiar they are with the challenges facing adult social care sector, especially given the aging population, and why they must ensure services are met with growing demand for care. So I committed to provide an extra 45,000 hours of care each month, and we have begun to deliver that increase within the first 100 days of the new government. So they also touched on the UK government's decision on immigration, which they said have inflicted pain on social care sector at a time when demand for care is increasing and its choices on tax have heaped an £84 million bill on the sector by increasing employers' national insurance contributions. The Prime Minister has spoken about reforming social care services, but meaningful reform requires a workforce to deliver it. I urge him to reconsider and to reverse the harm done by the UK government over the past 2 years. So he also said they're going to explore every means possible to make sure they continue to make a positive difference. So the adult social care displaced worker scheme covers additional costs which employers face when hiring a displaced worker already in the UK who has lost an employer sponsorship and where there are unfulfilled vacancies. So this cost will often prevent an employer from employing them. This scheme opened on 31st of July and closes on the 21st of August. So this scheme to employ displaced workers already in the UK, displaced care workers already in the UK, is currently open. So share this video to everyone that needs it. If you know anybody that needs to get this. In fact, I saw somebody on social media that was sharing how she has been out of job for over 5 months or so, and in the comment section, you could see a lot of people also saying they could relate, sharing their experiences and sharing, how they've been surviving and how this affects them as well. Asking for anybody that knows how they can get a certificate of sponsorship, asking for help basically, so people were trying to give advice on what they can do, how they can help them and all. So this is people's reality, unfortunately, but thankfully Scotland has stepped in. And if you know anybody, the best thing you can do for them right now is to share this video to them and share this information with everybody that it might benefit. Because as you can see here, there is a limited time. It's going to close again very soon. And we don't know how soon they're going to reopen this. I know that it was open for a while because I also read this when it was open. I think I made a video of it that time and they now closed it. So now Scotland has reopened it again. So please do well to share this to anybody that needs it so that they can apply immediately. And it's so interesting to know that we're now beginning to get at least some good news from the UK, because before now it has always been, oh, what next? When you see a UK immigration news, it's like, okay, what has migrants done again? What are they changing this time around? What policies are they bringing in? What's new? Like, it's sometimes or mostly unfavorable news. Everybody's like, oh, does it affect me? Does it not? It's just been a lot. But recently, we've just been getting some positive news, which is fair, which is a welcome development because we all deserve that. We all just deserve to hear something positive from the UK for once. So I wish everybody applying all the best and I hope you get it, but you have to do it immediately. In fact, as you're watching this video, just start applying now. You can easily just go on there, gov.scot, and you'll see all the links you need to get started. So yeah, this is good news from Scotland. Scotland is calling as many people that will be benefiting from this scheme. Don't let it pass you by. And I wish you guys all the best. So guys, that is it for today's video. As I saw this update, this good news, I just thought to share with you all because trust me to always keep you updated. Okay. So yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.